We're live on the Fort Valley Boys podcast. I got my guys Jimmy Butler and Dave Miranda. I have no words for what we're looking at on the screen.
Man. Jimmy Butler. Okay.
I'm good.
Wow.
I don't have nothing for you.
You right, Fave. I ain't got nothing to say. Wow.
Let's just start the show. Let's go.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Boys. Yeah. Hold on. We them boys. We them boys.
We're not going to engage in this.
Nothing you can say, Fave, but nothing you can say. Man, that's all I can say, man. Jimmy, what made you take the braids off?
Just trying something different, man. Getting ready for the season.
Okay.
So, Uncle Clifford, what's your prospects for the year?
I mean, when we talk about NBA, I'll give you my prognosis when time come up.
That's a big word there. That's a big word.
Yeah, it's a big word for me.
Yeah, that's a real big word. Big.
Let's just get to the show.
How you like my hair, Faith? I mean, how you like it?
I'm not engaging with you on that. I'm not.
I've never seen you this speechless ever. Ever.
Babe, I've been there many a time. So the speechless part I get, but we can continue.
College football, NFL. Which one we start with?
Faith seemed like he lost a word. Damon, can you help him out?
Yeah, we're gonna start with college, Faith. We're gonna start with college. You threw him off, Jimmy. I understand. Let's start with college, Faith.
Okay. So we're after 4 weeks, and we have some compelling games. 5 weeks. Either way, it don't matter. 4 or 5 weeks. We got. I can't. I just can't. I might take this episode off, y'all. I can't.
Wrong, Faith.
We've done this show for 3.5 years. Why?
I get it, Faye. You when you know a guy like Jimmy, it's just certain things you got to use the force to just move your mind somewhere else, because he is gonna do something to throw you off. This has been going almost 30 years, Faye. You should be used to it.
Yeah.
Faye is really at a loss for word, man. He really lost for word.
I can't blame him. You come on here with a pink skull cap on, Jimmy Butler, and you got a Rick James wig on. I can't blame him.
I was getting my hair done just like Jimmy Butler.
Okay, well, Faye, like I said, it's a different ball game. You just got to go pretend with that. Let's just talk college football, Faye. That's all you got to do, man, because you keep looking at him, you're still going to be a loss for words.
I just got one thing to say. Down in the valley where the girls get naked. P Valley.
Pretty good.
Don't watch P Valley. Let's go ahead and get college football. 5 weeks. I put 4 weeks for some reason. I'm thinking about NFL. We're 5 weeks. We're 5 weeks in on the college football, and it doesn't look like there is a definitive great team this year. I'm gonna start with Jimmy. Uncle Clifford. Mike. And they go, Damon. Which team is the best team in the nation right now?
I think it's Texas. If I had to rank them from like 1 to 5, I would say Texas 1, Michigan 2, Florida State 3, Georgia 4. Texas, I think, out of all the top teams, have had the best win going in there beating Alabama. Florida State with the next best win, beating LSU and Clemson, which may not even look like a good win now, since both of them have 2 losses. Michigan is just blowing people out. Texas right now is the best team in the country.
Go to you, Damon.
I agree with Mike. Texas is probably the most dominant team as of now. They're one of the more complete teams in college football. They do, as of now, have the best win out of the 4 because Bama's still winning. Mike brought up a good point about LSU and what's the name with their 2 losses. Michigan schedule is weak. They did go to Nebraska and impose their will on them. The only reason Nebraska scored because it was on their 3rd team. So, Florida State with the speed and defense. Texas, to me, probably is the most dominant team, probably the most complete team in the country. I think it's Texas.
We got Mr. Major just hopping on here. Let's get him in before you see Mike's head. He might see Mike's head right now, but Shai, who's the best team in your opinion right now in college football?
I caught the part where Lollipop Atwater was talking.
Jimmy Butler, man. Hey, call me by my name, sir. Jimmy Butler.
That's who you supposed to be?
Just call me by my name.
You look like Jimmy Butter. Okay.
Call me by my damn name, bitch.
Yeah, I would agree with Texas. I think Florida State. I wouldn't diminish what Florida State did because both of those wins against those ranked teams was not at home. They beat Clemson in Death Valley, and they beat LSU on the neutral field. If you want to call it neutral field, it was in Orlando, but still. I would go Texas, FSU. Georgia right now they're playing down to their competition. Carson Beck is, he's not being a world beater right now. They're winning solely off of talent.
Carson Beck ain't turning that ball over either.
Yeah, that's true. Michigan looks really, really good, and you got to give Ohio State their credit for going in the South Bend and beating them. Now I'll throw in a hot take. That's a new one. I'm gonna be a little homer. I'm gonna wait till this week. But if Texas A&M beat Alabama, then I think the Posters got to put Miami in the top 10. They was down 14 and still ended up beating Texas A&M by 20-some points. And Texas A&M has destroyed everybody since then. Hello.
I'm going to tell y'all something that Ratio told me a while ago about quarterbacks and how big quarterback play is. Let's just look at the 3 teams that were pretty much dominant all season last year. That was really, really good. Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. And those teams lost, I would say, 3 generational type quarterbacks. Bryce Young, if not the best quarterback to ever play at Alabama, is arguably one of the best. C.J. Stroud, you see what he's doing in the league. He's one of the best to ever play at Ohio State. And Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships. Look at this year and look at the teams that return quarterbacks and how good their teams are. Texas, they return Quinn Ewers. Michigan, they return McCarthy, right, Damon?
Yeah, J.J. McCarthy.
They return McCarthy. You have Florida State returning Jordan Travis. USC returning Caleb Williams. Quarterback play, man, plays a big role in the team when they go to the national championship. So Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe, the quarterback from Ohio State, they are just coming in off of some legends, and it's showing with the team. It really is. But look at those teams. Oh, and my boy out there, Michael Penix, out there at Washington.
I'm going to ask y'all how y'all feel about Washington.
Look at those teams that's got quarterbacks that returning, and look how they playing. Even look at Miami with the quarterback situation. Quarterback plays a major role. I know you need receivers and good defense, But if you got a good quarterback, you got a chance to win every game. And those 4 or 5 teams I just named, don't be surprised you see them there at the end too.
All right, since we're saying Texas A&M, maybe Miami, maybe Georgia, what team is the best one-loss team right now?
If number one team really, Notre Dame on the one I know of.
That's the first one came to my mind. Notre Dame.
Yeah, this is Notre Dame.
One
This
loss.
is Shake 'em Up Saturday. This Shake 'em Up Saturday right here. This Saturday right here is gonna go a long way in the separating the Jimmies and the Joes. You know, again, if Texas A&M can beat Alabama, then you know what you call him, Jimbo will get that monkey off his back as far as beating Nick Saban, and he'll be right back in the playoff race. When you talk about he only has one loss on the road, you know, and Texas, somebody gotta fall between Texas and Brett Venables. Somebody got to come back to earth. Somebody gonna take a tough L. You know, so this weekend, who's the other team that's out there that we was looking? That's everybody looking at.
It's
What's one of them other good games?
Ohio State and Maryland undefeated, but and shout out to Mike Loxley, man. We ain't nobody even talking about this dude. We've been talking about Dion so much, we forget what this dude doing over there in Maryland. And Fade had a hot take earlier this week. Fade got Maryland beating Ohio State this weekend. He really does. So shout out to Mike Loxley, man. But Georgia, Kentucky.
Go back to what you said, Mike. Veteran quarterback.
Yeah, the Tua little brother.
Yeah.
Georgia, Kentucky is an undefeated.
Third or fourth year.
Georgia, Kentucky is an undefeated matchup this weekend. Notre Dame and Louisville, it ain't really undefeated teams playing, but Notre Dame on the roll for a second straight week, going into ACC territory. What can they do? Like Ratio said, Texas, Oklahoma, somebody coming back down to earth. So this is and I'm gonna tell you another sneaky good game, man, that nobody really talking about. 3-2 LSU at 5-0 Missouri. That leads me to the question: what second-year coach is in trouble the most, Brian Kelly or Marcus Freeman?
Just based on GP with the SEC, it's Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly, you left Notre Dame to go to a conference out of being independent, where you pretty much have what you want, to a conference where it's no holds barred, and you get any recruit you want from the South. Now you made the SEC championship this past year. You got blowed out by Georgia, but your expectation was to do the same thing again this year and compete with Georgia, especially with them bringing in Carson Beck. So Brian Kelly, to me, to see this, they just turned the pilot light on that seat right now. And LSU next year, the seat will be warmed up like it's boiling water for pasta.
Well, if he digressed, I would agree with you, Faye. If he go from playing an SEC championship to not even making it, or something real foolish happen, you would be right, because it is SEC country, and he went to a school where they'll fire you for breathing wrong or smoking a cigarette when you ain't supposed to. LSU will fire him quick, regardless to the contract or whatever. He gonna have to either get back to the SEC title game, which I doubt, or he gonna have to make some real big noise. So Marcus Freeman, to me, it also depends on the year. But if he mess around, only lose one game as opposed to what he did last year, I think he good. He gonna have to play real timely football. It's just SEC and LSU. That's a bad combination for Brian Kelly.
Yeah, and back Marcus Freeman. That's been a track record of black coaches really not getting a fair shake in Notre Dame. Look at
that's true too.
So if you just going by that, Marcus Freeman might be out the door. If he got to beat USC this year. He got to beat USC. Got to beat him. Go ahead, Shot.
Oh, you already know I'm going with Marcus Freeman. They don't want that man up there. They about to find some type of scandal with him so they can get rid of him with just cause like they just did Mel Tucker. Like it's to me, it's hands down Marcus Freeman.
Hey, damn it, LSU still got a chance to get to the SEC championship game too. They ain't got but one SEC loss.
Okay.
They lost to Florida State and was in that basketball game with Ole Miss this past week.
I still think Notre Dame got a chance to beat SC after what I saw. Like Shaw said, they can't stop kids from crossing the street.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. Like that's Lincoln Riley MO, right? That's what he do.
It gotta be.
No time. He don't spend no time. Listen, he don't do that.
I mean, USC mindset is if I can outscore you, I don't need to play no defense. They mindset is to outscore you.
I get that, but that's the same mindset Mike D'Antoni had, and it got him nowhere.
And the thing about USC playing out there in that Pac-12, they can succeed with that. It's just when it comes to the national stage, when you got to play the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Texas, that may be a little different. But the way they playing right now, they can win that conference just simply outscoring people.
They better build that defense because they coming to a conference where they got some very good defensive squads. Ohio State can be Manny Diaz at Penn State. They better do something with that defense because they coming. It's some squads they gonna play that's gonna play some defense on them, and that's gonna stop them from getting to their ultimate goal. Lincoln Riley gonna have to get him either he gonna have to concentrate more or he gonna have to find a DC he really trusts that's really good because outscoring, you come in the cold weather, what you ain't used to, your defense is the one thing that do travel.
Defense in the running game. Remember, they can move to the Big Ten next year. You see UCLA and USC going to Big Ten where they're gonna have to make long trips into possible inclement weather. Right now, as you see it, if we talk about Brian Kelly and Marcus Freeman, and we haven't broached this Mel Tucker thing because we don't have all the information as of yet. But I think they're gonna come to a buyout as far as a settlement to close that chapter. Let me get to the chat right quick. Corey Green says Georgia is the dominant team into the throne. We said that last week. Every game not going to be a blowout. In some games are going to be ugly. Texas and USC are playing good. USC's defense got tired in that second half. I think Colorado they needed Travis Hunter. That's a game where Travis Hunter could have made a slight difference in that second half. But Lincoln Riley, he's going to lose 2 games. He's going to lose to Notre Dame. He's going to lose if they play Utah, they're going to lose to Utah. He has trouble. Utah always has USC's number. So USC's
they play Oregon too, don't they, Fade?
They play Oregon as well.
Ooh.
And Bo Nix, this is his 13th year in college football.
Where are they playing Oregon? Where are they playing them, at USC or at Oregon?
That's a good question. Anatole, look that up for me.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Bo Nix plays different at home than he do on the road.
Let me look at him.
He's virtually unbeatable at home.
Let's see. While wait for Anatole, let's also get to another comment. Mario Johnson said LSU losing to Florida State 2 years in a row doesn't look good for Brian Kelly. Anatole, Corey also said 21 and 21. Kentucky and UGA were both undefeated, and UGA beat the hell out of them. Kentucky actually looked good on defense. They put that thigh out on Florida, but Florida is not a good team this year. I think we said it earlier. Georgia's going to cakewalk into the SEC championship game.
Don't say that. No, Fade. No, I can't give you that one, Fade. They ain't gonna cakewalk no SEC championship game now. Georgia, I will say this though: if you don't catch Georgia by the Florida game, meaning with a loss, they won't lose one. Cause what's gonna happen? Eventually, that thing gonna turn around up there at Georgia because it's too much talent. Like right now, they just going out there on the field and just beating people because they just a little bit deeper and more talented. But now I don't know how you figure it's gonna be no cakewalk after what you done seen these last 2-3 weeks. How you figure it's gonna be a cakewalk?
Defense. I think Kirby Smart is going to lean on that defense a lot this year. Carson Beck don't need to make a lot of mistakes. I'm not a Georgia fan. I'm just saying. Corey said USC's going to Oregon now, and USC goes to Notre Dame. Now, Corey, since you're going to be my producer for the night, look up in 2022 and 2020 who won USC and Oregon those 2 years when they went to Oregon. Look up those two games for me.
Bo Nix is different at home. I don't know what it is about that home cooking. He plays a lot better at home than he does on the road.
But Damon, that's everybody. It ain't a team or a quarterback or person.
Mike, I wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't a significant drop in his play. You're right. It is everybody. He seems to play 10 times worse. You got a lot of cats. It's like, I give you an example. J.J. McCarthy they did an interview. He said he enjoys going on the road. He likes playing on the road. And Nebraska, who had the best run defense in the country, they went and put up 45 before they scored 7, and he played well. I'm saying when you look at Bo Nix, man, when he's at Oregon as opposed to anywhere else, his yards, his completion percentage, it takes a nice drop. That's all I'm saying.
That's everybody though, Damon. Nobody really plays. Everybody don't play the same at home versus they do on the road.
Yeah, some people play better. But what I'm saying is that there is a difference in Bo Nix play to where it's a lot of times it's a struggle. He got more picks at the crib. I know it's everybody, but it seems like his is a bigger drop than the average quarterback that go on the road. That's a home. It's a huge difference.
What you think about that ratio?
I'm here. Yeah, he does play better at home, but I agree with you saying most people play better at home. You're just getting your energy. The fans get to keep you going. But the numbers do show that when he's home, he's dialed in. So he may just want to be those. He may want to.
That's all I'm saying, bro. His
comfortable.
Shot nailed it to me. That his numbers really show it, man. It's a totally different guy. It's like Jekyll and Hyde almost.
Yeah. I mean, and I hear what you're saying, D-Ran, because can y'all hear me?
A little bit.
You breaking up a little bit, Shot.
All right, I don't know what that is. I hear what D-Ran's saying, because when he's away from home, he is awful. So it ain't just he plays better at home. He's awful on the road.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like 5th round draft pick on the road, 1st round draft pick at home. That's mix to me on the road and at home.
I think that's a good analogy, Mike. All I'm saying, you're right. It is every quarterback. If you look at Bo Nix, his numbers, they are a significant drop. It's a huge drop. His completion, yards, all that. It's a huge drop away as it is at home. And it is the home cooking, I get it. But you got some quarterbacks that play different on the road, but it's not as average as you look at Bo Nix numbers. It may be a small drop off.
All right, we'll see what Jalen Milroe do this weekend at Texas A&M. Jaden Daniels do at Missouri. We'll monitor these dudes this weekend.
It's gonna be this is a telltale Saturday though. That is true. It's like Georgia, Kentucky. Ohio State. I think they just gonna do something nasty to Maryland. I don't even really see that being a fight, but. The rest of the game.
This is one of them weekends where it's the haves versus the have-nots. That's what it is.
I agree.
Georgia, Kentucky, that's a have-not. Ohio State, Maryland, have and have-nots. Notre Dame, Louisville, have and have-nots. We gonna see who pulls it out. And for people that root for them teams out there, I'm not disrespecting them, but in the world of college football, you got maybe 10 to maybe 15 schools that are what they call traditional or elite schools. And Louisville, Maryland, and Kentucky would not fit in that category. They have not.
We'll see. Gonna see what's happening. You know what I mean? It's gonna be an interesting after this Saturday. We gonna know a lot more.
But like Ratio said, man, Miami flying under the radar.
Yep. I think that's the game I really do want to keep my eye out on, the Texas Bama game. That's Texas A&M. I'm sorry. That one, I think everybody will be paying close attention to because of the Canes. It's gonna be it's so much going on now. The college season is starting to play itself out now.
And
I mean,
go ahead, Rachel.
Well, I mean, if we talking about the Canes, then again, I think it's good for college football. It's good and bad for college football. If Miami is winning, and then you got a guy like Cristobal, he hangs his hat on recruiting. So, and Miami's recruiting at a high level right now, given what their record is. I mean, coming off a 5-7 season, they still had the number 6-7 class in the country last year. And, a lot of those recruits were in wait and see mode. Are y'all going to do something? If not, like, I know they just got this kid, Not Carr, from Moultrie County, just decommitted from Georgia. And right now they got him forecast to come to Miami. He's supposed to be one of the fastest guys in the country. So when you look at college football, if Miami's winning, Georgia's still there, Alabama, and then you got the emergence of Dion. I was going to say USC, but when Lincoln Riley let Colorado score 40 without Travis Hunter, I just don't have no faith in what USC doing over there once they finally come east and play a team that actually know how to tackle. I just have no faith. Lincoln Riley, all he did was change uniforms. That is Oklahoma West. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting in the next couple of months.
And USC, we're going to see what they made of us starting next week because they got Notre Dame and Utah back-to-back. And Miami, we're going to find out about Miami starting next week because they go on the road to North Carolina, then they play Clemson. So a lot of teams, we about to find out about them.
Faye nailed it, though. Yeah. That Utah SC guy, that Utah get them fits, man.
Utah just got beat by Oregon State. Y'all know that, right?
Yes, but certain teams give other teams problems. They did get beat by Oregon State.
Yeah, I'm nervous about Miami going to play the University of Drake May. That's going to be scary. That's going to be scary.
That dude is that's the hell of a quarterback. Just imagine if he had another receiver.
Like y'all know I give my takes on the quarterbacks, and Caleb Williams is the number one pick. And I think even Tony said this, man, Drake May, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Drake May. I won't put him in godson status, but I'm a fan.
So we got a great weekend of college football. Get ready. If you got YouTube TV, you can watch 4 games at the same time and just move around and see which game you want to listen to. You can watch 4 games one time. You got YouTube TV. So thank you, YouTube TV. Let's go ahead and go to the NFL real quick, where we have only 2 undefeated teams right now, the 49ers and the Eagles. We have probably one of the bigger week 5 games coming up with Dallas and San Francisco. It's a Sunday night game. Thank you, NBC. I'm gonna start with Horatio on this one, and I'm just gonna look at the NFC right now. Then we'll slide over to the AFC. Which team would you rather be right now, San Francisco or Philadelphia?
Would I rather be San Francisco or Philadelphia? I would rather be Philadelphia. And I say that because, Philadelphia got weapons. Now, right now, same thing Atwater said, like with Georgia. They not really clicking right now. but they got weapons. And the NFL is about the Jimmies and Joes. It ain't the X's and O's. They got weapons. So you still got, I mean, I don't know, they kind of, I don't want to say slid up under the radar, but Philadelphia has quietly assembled the kind of talent on an NFL offense that rivals anybody. That's probably the best offensive talent in the game. You got 2,000-yard receivers. You got a big-time back in DeAndre Swift, and you got a 3,000-yard, 800-yard quarterback. And they going for it on 4th and 1 from anywhere on the field with a 92% success rate. Philadelphia.
All right, Mr. Jimmy Butler.
Who would I rather be? San Francisco or Philadelphia? Damn, Fade.
What'd he say?
Ask the question again, man. Maybe I missed.
If you had to be if you had to pick a team right now between San Francisco and Philadelphia, probably to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, which team would you rather be?
Damn. I think I'd rather be the 49ers.
You got
with a simple fact, man. That defense, I would take San Francisco defense before I take the Eagles defense. That's what, because in the playoffs, running the football and defense wins championship. And they got arguably right now the best running back in football in Christian McCaffrey. And we know what their defense is doing. So I think I'd rather be San Francisco right now.
What about you, Damon?
If I had to pick one, it would probably be San Fran as well. Stellar defense. If I'm not mistaken, Fabe, you gotta check it out. I don't think Purdy threw an interception yet, so he's taking care of the ball. Debo, Christian, they have enough to sustain a drive, and if they don't, they can stop. Their defense can pretty much make stops. Now, Horatio bring up great points. DeAndre Swift went to Philadelphia and really turned his career around. And they have a very good quarterback who can run pass option. But I just look at, I think, and this is an opinion of mine, that the run game that San Fran has, along with very good defense, not taken away from Phillies, I just think San Fran's is better. That I would rather be them. Now, I could be wrong, and they mess around, beat these boys, go to the Super Bowl. But I think I'll stick with San Francisco.
Yeah, Brock Purdy, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Sacked, I believe, 5 times, if I remember correctly. What I just saw.
And they protected him pretty well, so that's good too.
7 times for 39 yards lost. So he's 8th in passing right now. He's 8th ranked passer. 2 is still number 1. Matthew Stafford is 2. I don't know. That's yards. So Brock Purdy is 8th in yards. If I had to pick, I would have to until Philadelphia gets beat in the playoffs. I'm gonna have to go with Philadelphia right now. But I'm gonna tell you where both teams kind of missed out on today. Both those teams could have had J.C. Jackson.
Minnesota?
No, J.C. Jackson went back to New England.
Yeah.
San Francisco, their front 7 is elite. Their back 4 struggles. Kansas City showed us that last year when they beat the brakes off them in San Francisco. Philadelphia lost a lot of corners. Gardner Johnson went to Detroit, lost some other guys. They had a chance to get J.C. Jackson if they wanted to strengthen their back end of their defense. Both those teams could have had them. Dallas could have even had them. Dallas could have had them to replace Trayvon Diggs. Then you could have just traded away. Stephon Gilmore did a restructure of his contract. But those 3 teams could have had J.C. Jackson, could have made a better case for them for their back 4 or back 5 if you play nickel to make a run at the Super Bowl. But if I had to pick, I would pick Philadelphia until somebody beats Philadelphia in the playoffs. Philadelphia is my team right now. Keep in mind they have a new coordinators on both sides of the ball. Brian Johnson is getting a feel for how he wants to call plays. And right now, I think they're going to hit their stride by week 9 or 10. I think they're going to be okay. They're winning games that don't matter. Ugly, pretty, fine, ugly. They're going to win games. Probably they're going to win games. I just think I think they play San Francisco in a couple weeks, and then they play Kansas City around Thanksgiving. So if I had to pick, I'm picking Philadelphia right now in the NFC.
Tell your team to watch out for, Fade. Watch out for them Detroit Lions. Watch out for Detroit, man.
I need to get a little bit more healthier, Mike. I agree with you.
I agree.
I agree with you. If they can get that, and J-Mo is eligible to come back. They did an interview saying they're gonna wean him back in. There's another deep threat, Amon Raza. Man, look at that. He was a steal, man. Holmes got him. He was a steal, considering what he's doing. Laporta playing well. They got some guys that stepped in and did what they need to do. Now they took some injuries on the back end, the back four, but you got your front seven getting healthier. You got cats coming back for the front four, but they mess around and beat Carolina. Then they gotta go to, I think they gotta go to Baltimore. They come out 5-2, 6-1. We got a good talk on our hands.
Horatio, Tony Head say you're dead to him. What you done did, man?
Whoa, he showed
What the
me,
hell?
man. What Tiny Hill talking about, man?
I don't know, but he better hurry up and book his doggone flight. I know that.
I was right here, 49er fan. I forgot. He's a diehard 49er fan. I forgot about that. About my wife. Dang.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
Right. He
And
is
you know
a
what?
49er fan.
When I said it, I thought about him and Tony Miles talking about Niners itches.
Mm-hmm. As long as the 49ers don't lose 5 quarterbacks in 2 weeks, they should be okay to make the NFC Championship game.
Against Philadelphia.
Yeah, against Philadelphia. No, they're gonna play Dallas in the championship. I picked Dallas to go to the Super Bowl, so I have to ride with Dallas.
Go to hell, Fade.
Man, stop it.
Straight to hell too. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't bypass.
I knew he was gonna say. I knew you said that for Mike. I knew you said that for Mike.
No, I picked Kansas City and Dallas before the season started to go to the Super Bowl.
I had San Francisco and Cincinnati for the season started. That looked like that's not going to materialize.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's not looking good.
Burrow look bad, man. He's playing hurt though.
They should have sat him down to week 5.
At least the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. Let's line up to the AFC right now, where the Bills they look pretty darn good, but that defense though is taking a hit with Tre'Davious White going out with an Achilles injury, but Von Miller will be back this week. Miami's still 3-1. Kansas City's 3-1, but they do not look good at all. Baltimore's 3-1. Jacksonville's 2-2. Right now, who's the best team in the AFC, Dave?
Hey, question. I'm gonna answer that question though. Didn't the Chiefs start off somewhat slow last year?
And the year before, yeah, they started off like 2-3, 3-4, something like that.
I wouldn't take much stock in that. But the best team right now, in my opinion, in the AFC right now, probably would be Buffalo. Even though their defense is somewhat suspect right now, they did to Miami what Miami almost did to what Miami did to Denver. You know, Miami wasn't gonna give up no 70. I'll never think that. But I'm talking them like dominance of the game. Josh Allen looked like an MVP candidate. And if he keeps to play like that, they're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to the Super Bowl. They keep play like that. 1A probably. So I still go with the Dolphins in 1A. Just because they lost that game don't mean they haven't had a dominant season. So it's between those two. They like 1-1A to me. I would put Buffalo because they beat them last week, but it's 1-1A for me with them two.
Jimmy.
Man, how y'all gonna go against Kansas City, man? It's Buffalo, Kansas City, and probably Baltimore right now.
Hey, Jimmy, you sat in the chair real quick?
Yeah, yesterday after he got a hat done, he did get it braided. So I got to braid it up. But Buffalo, Kansas City, and Baltimore, I will put them in that order.
All right, shot.
What the hell happened to me? Oh, I'm just confused at how we go from it's Georgia until they get beat, and then when we go to a different sport, we want to pick other people based on how they look. Yeah, if you got a game next week versus Kansas City and anybody in the AFC, tell me who's going against Kansas City. Next week, this Sunday, Kansas City versus anybody, who's betting against Kansas City? Everybody healthy. So why are we picking all these other teams when the champs ain't nobody beat the champs? Travis Kelce wasn't playing. As good as Buffalo look, I ain't betting against Kansas City. Pat Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. I ain't betting against him.
That's valid. That's a valid point.
What Jonathan say? He like the Ravens?
Yeah.
Go ahead and piss test him.
That's a valid point. That's a valid point. They are still the champs. That's valid. And it's a different ball game when you go it's playoff time. So I mean Patrick Mahomes ain't letting nobody down come playoff time. So that's a valid point.
All right, so we're looking at San Francisco and Eagles, and everybody saying Buffalo and Kansas City on this side. Of course, this is my segment of the show where Mike said, "Damn, Faye, you trying to get Coach fired?" Let's go ahead and ask you before we move on to Jrue Holiday trade. I said this is the part of the segment where everybody say, "Damn, Faye, you trying to get motherfucker fired?"
Okay.
Eric Bieniemy would have looked good in Chicago 2 years ago.
Man, I ain't know till yesterday I saw pardon interruption. Man, I ain't know they done lost 14 straight games. I did not know that, bro. That's crazy, man.
Who?
Chicago.
Show has. Yeah.
And right now, Chicago in 14 in a row. And right now they hold the number 1 and number 2 picks in the draft if the draft was tomorrow.
How they hide that, Faye?
Because they traded with Carolina. They got Carolina's first round pick next year.
Yeah.
When they traded for Bryce Young. When they traded for the Bears on 1 pick.
That was with the Bears. So they getting the top 2 man. Woo!
Because the dummy Arizona Cardinals wanted to beat the Cowboys.
Wow. So Justin Fields was not this regime's pick. He would go bye-bye, and they would go get Drake May or Caleb Williams, 1 or 2.
Man, they talking like Justin Fields may get traded. They say the Falcons on board for Justin Fields.
Why not? He's a better. You would do him than Desmond Ridder, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
If they bring in Justin Fields to Atlanta, it is just to sell tickets. It ain't to win football games.
Speaking of Atlanta, and we talking about coaches on the hot seat.
Ocean.
We're gonna start putting Arthur Smith. We're gonna start putting get his seat warm in Atlanta. Let's start getting it warm.
It was already warm.
No, he ain't been there for 2 years, but let's start getting his seat warm.
So Eberflus,
I
I think
actually
he's
thought
gonna
it was already warm. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all.
yeah. I think Eberflus' seat is already boiling. Like you cooking, like you said, you getting ready to cook some linguine. It's already boiling.
Man,
I would say
did
by
y'all
week.
see? Go ahead, Faye. My fault.
No, you go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
Man, did y'all see all of the Falcon fans coming out after week 2? I saw dancing skits. I saw things on social media talking about I told y'all the Falcons were 2-0. People were twerking. They were doing everything. Page is discontinued now.
Let me do my Stephen A. Smith. Just wait.
After they lost to Detroit, a lot of them were just like, "No, we gonna be straight." They, this and that, which I actually thought they was gonna be straight too. But somebody I follow, one of my friends, was like, "Until they get rid of Desmond Ridder, they will not win." My boy, man, he can't stand Desmond Ridder. He hates that they drafted them, and he is a diehard Atlanta fan.
Yeah, Falcons should have went after Lamar, but that the owners were colluding. So but it's after Justin Herbert and everybody else got their money, but they want to complain. Anyway, just so Eberflus on the hot seat. Arthur Smith, Brandon Staley's still on the hot seat for me. He's gonna be in the hot seat till the end of the season. I'm gonna give you one name that y'all might say, shut the hell up, Abe. Ron Rivera might be on the hot seat. They're playing well, but I think Ron Rivera might be bumped up to the front office, an advisor role or something like that at the end of the season. Any thoughts on that?
I can see that.
You said Ron Rivera?
Yeah, I'm not fired, but I think they're gonna move him to the front office. I think they're gonna move him. I don't think he's gonna get fired. They're gonna bump him up to the front office so they can slide Airbnb to the head coach, unless the Commanders make a run to the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna fire. I think they're just gonna move him to the front office.
I thought I read something in a Washington article that they did sign Bieniemy so he could be the head coach.
Yeah.
So you might have a point, right? I don't know if Ron will go up to the front office, but I don't know.
If they make the playoffs, Ron's gonna stay another year. But I think if they don't make it, I think Ron might just go to the front office, and I think Eric might get a fair shot. But I think if the Bears have the first and second pick, this is just me talking. I'm talking. It might sound crazy. I think Justin Fields just had bad coaching. Some of it's on him now, but I think if Eric Bieniemy would have been there his second year, I think we wouldn't be talking about a Justin Fields a problem. But I think Bieniemy is going to either go to the Chargers or he's going to be a Redskins or the Commanders coach. Mike, am I crazy?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, Baby said they're restricting Justin Fields. They're holding him back, which you could tell this year. He has not ran a lot of the quarterback design runs this year. I think he's only ran like 2 this year, 2 or 3.
That's not the regime that drafted him. So
no, it was Matt Nagy. That was that
was Matt Nagy. Yeah, I think a little bit of that got something to do with it.
So let me ask this.
You gonna ask it?
Did I freeze? I'm back.
No, you good? You ain't froze.
You're good now.
Oh, I don't because Atwater got the same face for the lad, so maybe y'all froze. But let me ask this, because Justin Fields had a hell of a day last Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who gets credit for that?
If I'm gonna give it to offensive coordinator.
So we're gonna give credit to the offensive coordinator.
That they would. It was Justin Fields actually had a good day to me.
Okay, so if Justin Fields had a good day, then what's stopping Justin Fields from having a good day the last 2-3 weeks?
Justin Fields.
He's got a revamped offensive line. and he's got a number one receiver over there in DJ Moore. So if it ain't the coaching, then why is it that DJ Moore doesn't have a shitload of targets? Is that on the coach? Is that on Justin Fields? Like at the end of the day, you can say, hey, DJ, I'm coming to you. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm just trying to figure out what was stopping Justin Fields from having the same type of game he had last week. And if not, why are you not peppering DJ Moore with targets? He's your best option.
Look at DJ Moore stats.
Surely they didn't pay the money to get him over there to not get him the ball.
Yeah, he only has 19 catches. Yeah, he got 19 catches for 300 yards in through 4 games. That's not good. Let's just put it like that. 19 catches.
And you're the clear-cut number one.
Yeah, last year he only had 63
that
catches.
does fall on
93.
Justin Fields. That falls on Justin Fields. That does fall on Justin Fields. Because he's the one out there playing. He's the one calling the audibles. He's the one running the show. He's the CEO out there. I give you that. That's true.
And you know something else, man? We have been before. We have bashed Ryan Day and the Ohio State offense for Justin Fields struggling. We can't do that no more because CJ Stroud is balling. We can't use that for Justin Fields no more. Because for a while, that's what people would say. Well, Ohio State don't really develop quarterbacks, and Ryan Day don't do this. Well, you got a guy came in after him that's playing pretty good right now. So we can't use that one no more.
I kind
of the reason why they say that might because besides Stroud, what Ohio State quarterback actually did something in the league? That's why a lot of people say that though.
But one of the reasons people have been talking about Justin Fields and his development and all that is because he played Ohio State. CJ Stroud is holding his own right now.
But remember, CJ Stroud had 4 years of Ryan Day too, or 3 or 4. How many years did Justin stay with? 1. Okay, so it is a difference.
1.
He had more time to develop CJ Stroud.
I also think it's the coaching in Houston too. Again, CJ Stroud? First of all, they're doing good. They won 1 game, right? Houston got 1 win.
2. They're 2-2.
2.
Houston like 2-2, 3-1, or something like that.
They're 2-2.
2-2. They beat Indianapolis, and then they upset somebody. I can't remember who they upset.
No, Pittsburgh and Jacksonville.
Pittsburgh, right?
They beat Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. That's their 2 wins.
Yeah, they upset Jacksonville. So my thing with that is this. If you look at CJ Stroud and the offense that he's in, the coaching is helping CJ Stroud. Again, I'm gonna go back. Nico Collins. If you don't know him and you do fantasy football, you know who he is. Nico Collins is in the top 3 when it comes to receptions and yards. Why? Because that coach is getting CJ Stroud to throw the ball to that guy. He's not making it complicated at all. That's why I believe CJ Stroud is playing good football. Yeah. So
I wish they would have used Nico Collins right in Michigan.
And don't get me wrong, CJ Stroud is talented, but look at the offense. They pepper Nico Collins with targets. CJ Stroud looks for him. I watched the game against Jacksonville because I got Nico Collins, and I have not been disappointed in my big money fantasy league because CJ Stroud looks for Nico Collins. Justin Fields, when he started looking for DJ Moore last week, what happened? They balled out.
8 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown.
Exactly. Why are you making this hard?
That's valid. I wish
my godson ain't got no number 1 receiver. That's why he not playing as well. He got old Adam Thielen. When they go get him a number one receiver, then we'll have another conversation about my godson.
I actually thought they was going. That's why I thought it was so strange. They didn't get nobody for him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was strange.
They traded away all the help. That's why trade away all the assets, the major assets. Let me get to the standings right quick for our Fort Valley Boys Challenge. Damon is in the lead at 32-10. Atwater's at 31-11. Horatio's at 29-13. Anatole and Jamon and Ryan and Tony are tied at 28-14. I'm sitting at 27-15. So it's like a 5-game difference between first and last place. All it takes is one good weekend.
Coming to get you, Dale.
The past weekend was terrible for me, bro. I went 7-1, then I lost 4 this week.
Man, D-Ran got the same teams I picked. He copied right off my paper, cut and paste.
Yeah, right.
He did a Tony.
Yeah, right.
Like right after me too.
Right.
Yeah. Damn so did.
I did.
He be taking your picks, Horatio.
I took a page. Hey, I took a page out of Horatio book. That's all.
Man, Edward, I'm talking about he replied to the chat 5 minutes after me with the same thing.
Sure did. You know how Horatio be like
catching him.
Hey, look, Horatio good for who they playing. He'll wait to see Tony, who you picking, then he gonna add. I picked up that same formula.
I go opposite of Tony.
I pick up that same formula. Those are the things I wanted to pick anyway. You just beat me to it.
Man, I would have been up there, but I tried to give.
Hey, ask Mike. I'm usually the first one to do my picks.
No, you are. I'm just messing with you.
I know. I just had to say this one. I had to see where you was going because usually you wait to see where we going.
Okay. I'm just late, but I tried to give Marcus Freeman some credit, and he hurt me. So I won't do that again.
There was a couple of people that hurt me last week. I just knew they was gonna win. I wasn't expecting.
I'm coming for that top spot, man.
I wasn't expecting the Steelers to get beat like that.
I was.
I wasn't. I ain't gonna lie to you.
They're horrible.
I'm going with that now. You're right. I wasn't expecting to be when I made them picks. I think I got a good. I'm gonna pad that lead though.
Mike, we got time for one more topic.
Man, they're gonna knock out Jrue, man. We got 5 minutes for Jrue.
All right, as y'all know, Dane got traded last week to the Milwaukee Bucks in a 3-way trade. Then, as predicted, Jrue Holiday went to the Boston Celtics for Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, and a couple first-round picks, which means that's the backcourt sounds like it's gonna be Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, and probably Horford, if I had to guess, was going to be the starting 5. Mike, does this push the Celtics over the top in the East?
Boy, doesn't you start with me? Good gracious, dude. Push them over the dang, Fade. Yeah. According to what they got coming off their bench for Boston right now is the number 1 team in the East, followed by Milwaukee. Jrue Holiday give them a small resemblance of Marcus Smart, a defensive-minded guy. It's one of them kind of things where Jrue Holiday brings you some stuff, but he don't bring you stuff as Marcus Smart does do either. Like Jrue Holiday is a better offensive player than Marcus Smart. But Jrue Holiday also is an all defensive player too. So they looking good. We just need to see what they got coming off the bench. I would assume Derek White coming off the bench now, and they gotta get some backup bigs because Porzingis ain't gonna be the guy you can count on all the time. So yeah, I think Boston the top team in the East right now.
Yeah, they signed Wenyen Gabriel last week. He that's I don't know. Luke Cornett's back this year. Yeah, they need another big. Time Lord, I want to trade a Time Lord, but Time Lord averages 40 games a year. So, Damon, does this push him over the top? Then we get shot.
Um, slightly, and I mean it's by slight margins. It's hard to really say that. I mean, you putting Dame Dollar with the Greek Freak, Chris Middleton. That's a hell of a big three. Mike brought up a good point about the bench and Jrue Holiday. You lose a defensive player of the year for a defensive guard with a slightly better offensive skill set. I don't think it's that much of a difference, but it is slightly better.
He was top 5 in catch and shoot last year for shooting guards last year.
Okay. It's all, I ain't gonna say it's an even swap, but now you looking at maybe a better, Faye brought it up, better catch and shoot. The only edge that they have would be the bench. Because starting five is tough when you got, I mean, Giannis can give anybody 50 at any point, and then you got another 50-point baller, and then there's Middleton, who's able to score with the best of them. You're looking at 3 people that could probably outscore the 5. But the bench may give Boston the slightest of edge. That's it.
Mr. Major.
No. Emphatic no. You know, a lot of what D-Ran said, but you know, when we start doing these comparisons, kind of like what we was talking about in the group chat with the Michigan and the Duke, you know, I always start off with who, you know, out of the 2 teams, who's the best player? On both teams, who's the best player? That would be Giannis, right? Then the second best player would probably be Jason, and the third best player is Dame. And then when you start talking about the fourth best player, yeah, you want to go with Jaylen Brown, but you can't ignore 7 turnovers on average. You can't ignore that. You know, and then you got a rim protector in Brook Lopez, but let's just go with the 5 because it's a long season. Players come, players go. You know, if Milwaukee feel like they need to get over the hump, they'll make moves to get pieces, you know, alongside, you know, bench players. It's easy to get bench players in the middle of the year toward the end. You have 2 guys that at the blink of an eye can get you 50. Boston has 1. Jaylen Brown, he can get you 30, no doubt about it. I'm not taking nothing away from Jaylen Brown, but 30 and 50 is a different club. And I think Milwaukee got the guy that's unguardable, and then they got a deep compliment to him because you can't leave. Man, that's gonna open the flow so much for Giannis because you know he likes to do that one dribble and cuff it and then go to the rim. You know, you gotta come way out there on Dame now. Jesus Christ. Milwaukee, easy to me. I'm still not okay, by the way. The hell? I don't even want to talk about this foolishness. Cancel the season, damn it.
He said, I'm still not okay, by the way.
For real, man. Y'all check on me every now and then.
I'm gonna have to now that you said that. I thought it kind of passed away like COVID, but obviously it's lingering a little bit.
Yeah.
Listen. You know it's bad when the man get traded somewhere else and people calling me, you all right? Tony talking about shots, you okay? No, I ain't okay. Man, I've been screaming Dame for about 2.5 years now, ain't I?
You have been. That's
Yeah.
you right. You right.
Jesus Christ, I am not okay.
So I'm glad to know that now. I'm gonna have to every now and then in the production chat, I'm gonna have to just shot you good.
Man, I saw him taking pictures today. I was just shaking my head. Just shaking my head. And Dame looked so happy. Punk ass.
Dude, stupid, man.
He looked so happy. Man, I'm just
damn, Mike, he brought up Shot brought up a good point, bro. That spread in the floor is gonna be lethal. it's gonna be bad because as soon as he cross half court, somebody got to get him. And you leaving Giannis and Chris Middleton to open up. I might have to. That's a great point. I might have to switch mine up. That's basketball, bro. Because now you got arguably the best player able to do what he want to because you scared to lead a person that'll give you 50 just by launching the peel or taking it to the rack or passing to another dude who can give you 30 off threes alone in Middleton. That's ugly. Woo! That's ugly. That's ugly.
And let me add on to that point right there. I was gonna go with the Bucks because they're more versatile now. Because if you want to, you can start Robin, Giannis, Bobby Portis, or Giannis, Lopez, and Crowder, or you can start Giannis, Lopez, Middleton, Campaign, and Dame, or you can take Campaign out and put Connaughton. That way you have enough size to protect Dame. Because Dame is 6'1" at best. And I'm looking at the Bucks roster now: 6'6", 6'10", 6'6", 6'6", 7 foot, 6'7", 7 foot, 7 foot, 6'5", 6'6", 6'10". You got a crap ton of size on that team, and you're more versatile now. But the only thing I'm looking at now is coaching. Adrian Griffin first year versus Joe Mazzulla's second year. That's gonna be the key right there. What does Adrian Griffin do in his first year with this lineup, with his roster? That's going to be the key right there. His first year versus Mazzulla's second year, and I think the Celtics bringing in some veteran assistant coaches. I think they got Sam Cassell this year. That's going to be that should be an asset, but we'll see. But I think Milwaukee by a slight tick over Boston for the best team in the East right now. Not in the lead, the East. Not in the lead, just the East.
Valid. That's valid points, man.
Well, that's our show for today. We want to thank everybody for hopping on and enjoying the ride with us on the show. Don't forget, we want to thank our sponsors: Arizona Tea, Ozempic, What the Fuck, and Hennessy and Coke. We want to thank those sponsors for sticking with us through these times, and we hope that you stay with us on and watch us next week. We'll catch you. We'll holler.
All right, y'all be good. That sounds like a benediction.